Alright, yo guys, how's it going? It's your boy, the Geeky Gangster here, coming to you guys today with another video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about another man's pornography site. I hope you guys are still with me after those first 10 seconds, because I know the, what's it called, the viewer duration goes down very quickly for new YouTubers, so I hope you guys are sticking with me through all this. However, I want to talk about a very sexy man's OnlyFans page. Actually, a famous YouTuber. His name is Markiplier, as you guys obviously were able to tell by the title. Maybe a little bit of a clickbait title, because we're not really going to talk that much about his actual OnlyFans page, but more so the inspiration I found behind it, because here's the thing. Basically, Markiplier released the OnlyFans where there's 3 different drops of 3 pictures each drop. So you pay $9, you receive 9 pictures, but the 3rd drop hasn't dropped yet, so I only got 2 of them for $6, 6 pictures, $6. But the reason he did this was extremely interesting, I think. It was to raise money for the Cincinnati Children's Hospital and also for the World Food Organization. That was split 50-50 between those 2 causes. And this is one of the main messages that I try to get across to you guys in my YouTube videos, which is you never know where your life is going to go, but you should strive every single day to do things that nobody else has done before. You can twist very common things within our society to make them very unique and creative ideas that push society forward and actually do good for our society and your fellow man and your fellow countrymen as well. What I mean by this is OnlyFans has been a very common thing for the past few years. You know, everyone's heard about OnlyFans, obviously, but it's always a girl's OnlyFans, right? It's describing paying $10 a month for 6 times 6 different girls. You're paying $60 to $100 so you can see pornography that I can see for free by going to some other website. But you're lonely, so you want girls to talk to you, so you pay them $60 a month combined, so they text you back sometimes. So that's what OnlyFans basically is. But Markiplier took that idea of paying to subscribe to see somebody's pornography, and he released pornography, like classic pictures, where it was like him as a lifeguard, him as like a sports fan in the sporting arena. So ideas that also go back to the classic like 1970s, 80s pornography, like the lifeguard and other, you know, sort of pornography roles like that, to where it would have been in the mainstream movies back then. But the classic pornography poses. But it was all in these ideas to where all 6 images had something covering his actual private parts up. So like the lifeguard had like the orange lifeboat, like the lifeguard boat thing covering his penis up, which was pretty cool. But it's just the idea of raising money for charity, because he took the idea of pornography and didn't do pornography within it, and used the idea to raise money for a children's hospital and for the World Food Organization. So this is what I mean when I tell you guys to do things that nobody else has done before. And it's to do just creative things that really will leave you a legacy, and you will remember when it's all said and done. You will remember it when it's all said and done. You will look back on your achievements with pride when you're older, if you do the things that no one else has done before. Because if you're doing the things that the common man does, then you have no achievements. So it's just about reaching your inner creative self and allowing the creativity that God has instilled within you to flow back out. Because here's the thing, as children, we were naturally curious about this world, and we were naturally creative as well. We were all creative. But the creativity of our minds and our imaginations are completely stomped out by us, by our parents, and by society as a whole. Most of us are taught that creativity is equivalent to retardation. But there will be no smart man that ever has a legacy on this world, because no smart man would ever take a risk. Okay, Elon Musk is autistic. Albert Einstein is autistic. These people were classified as retards growing up until they made it. Walt Disney was a retard, okay? Every single person you look back on in history was a retard and a failure. All the way until they were in the Hall of Fame. Every single step of the way. Because society wanted to beat the creativity out of them, because creativity is equal to retardation in the American society. But yet, it is the creative man who is the successful man who will be in the Hall of Fame, who will be having a legacy that people look back on after they've passed. Every single successful man that's ever walked this earth was a retard, okay? And that goes really back to Jesus Christ. If you really want to go there, think about it. If you had any sort of common sense within you, if you were a real smart fella up there thinking about it, would you really perform actions that lead to you being murdered on the cross? That's something a retard would do, right? We know that's not true. The atheist might claim it's true. The non-believers might claim that's true about Jesus Christ, that he is retarded, because they like to denounce his name. But if you look at the facts, and they are facts, he was a king of kings. And whether you're a Christian or a Muslim, if you believe that he is, him, God, you know what I'm saying? So, literally, every single one of God's closest angels, every single one of God's creations are retards, man. And they have to be. You cannot be a smart man and have a legacy. Ever. Ever. Dude, because to be smart would be not to take a risk, and not to take a risk would be not to find anything new, and to not find anything new would be to not achieve anything. Dude, you have no so if you're an American, you definitely have no country if you're unless if retards existed, because nobody who was smart would have found this country, because they would have just stayed in Europe where it was safe. It took retards who were willing to die to find some piece of land that we didn't even know if it was going to be valuable or not. That was retarded to go on that journey, because they stayed on that boat for a long time. They were risking dying. Many of them did die. And they faced more challenges when they got here, because they found out that it was going to be winter soon, and they didn't have anything to eat, and they had to survive all on their own. They had absolutely no guidance whatsoever. They had to figure everything out from scratch once they got here. That was retarded to go on that journey. In 1776, it was astronomically retarded to declare the Declaration of Independence from Britain, knowing that we didn't have a strong enough military to defeat them, and that they were going to come slaughter us if we declared the Declaration of Independence. It took absolute mentally ill retards to sign that Declaration of Independence. No man who was in his sane mind would have said that it was okay for Britain to come slaughter them, and that they were perfectly fine with it. With Britain coming to their brand new country that didn't really have an established military at all, and they were okay with the most powerful military on earth coming to slaughter us. No smart man would have said that. I hate to break it to you, brother. Harriet Tubman, if Harriet Tubman was a smart woman, she would have just stayed in the north where it was safe. She already escaped once, and she went back, and she went back again, 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 to free people, to lead people to freedom, to give people the life that they deserve, which is a free life, which is a creative life, which is a complete freedom in the name of God. That's what every single person deserves. But she kept on going back, and she said, it's okay if I get lynched. It's okay if you come after me. It's okay if you send 100 horses searching after me with the hounds sniffing and everything like that, because you want to lynch me on a tree. The first tree that you can find after you find me, I'll go back and I'll go back and I'll go back again, because everybody deserves to live a free life. That was absolutely retarded of her to do, because she was risking her life every single time she came back, man. But you guys you guys want to think about this logically. And every single successful person was retarded. It was nothing that you know today was a smart move to do at first. None. You think Henry Ford was an intelligent man? No. No one called him an intelligent when he was alive. Absolutely zero people called Henry Ford an intelligent man when he was alive. Okay? He cut down to the 40-hour work week, which businesses said was the most retarded idea in the history of our planet, because they were going to lose productivity and money. He wanted to invent an assembly line, and nobody else was going to use that. Nobody else on this earth was going to use that. They already had their own system in mind. Nobody can out Pizza the Hut, but do you think it was a smart idea to start Pizza Hut? Do you think it was a smart idea for the people who started Pizza? Because here's the thing. The people who started Pizza Hut originally, they could have had successful, what would be today with inflation, 6-figure jobs, be extremely well off, just live comfortably in their household, with their wife, with their kids, just be like every single other American in society. Nobody would have blamed them for not starting Pizza Hut, because they didn't know what Pizza Hut was at the time. Nobody would have blamed them for that. You know what they did blame them for? The retarded idea to risk hundreds of thousands of dollars in today's money to start and advertise and expand the first Pizza Hut location. They had an idea, they had a dream that they were going to just make pizzas for people for the rest of their lives. That was their idea, okay? They were just going to make pizzas for people for a living. That was retarded. Why would you start a restaurant that just serves pizza when you're not even an Italian? You can't even make Italian style pizza. You can't even make real pizza, guys. If you can't even make a real Italian pizza, why the fuck do you think you're going to make a living for the rest of your life selling pizzas to people? You're a fucking retard maniac, man. But once, now I'm not talking about Pizza Hut anymore. Once every single one of these people reached the legacy point that they did, once all of them hit the Hall of Fame, all of a sudden, the society that kicked them down, the society that spit on them every single day of their lives for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years, sometimes after they've already died, they're still spitting on their grave at that point. But as soon that they realized that creativity was the truth, and that creativity was powerful, and that those were free men in our society, they were free in the name of God, they were living in the name of God, they were creative to our society in the name of God, they put self forward into our society in the name of God. Once they realized that all of that stuff equates to the truth, and they realize it every single time, over and over and over again, they'll realize it, then you're a genius. But you were spit on, you were kicked down, you were everything, you were every single name in the book every single day of your life until then. Until you reached the Hall of Fame, you were a retard. You know, I've written a whole lot of things in my life, hundreds of different writing projects, essays, stories, poems, songs. I've written just about everything in my life. But one thing I've realized is that I can never write in my head. And what I mean by that is, every single time I think of an idea for a writing project, I always think in the beginning that I would never know what to write, and I never know how to rhyme, and I never know how to get to the end of the paper in my head. So I might as well not even open Google Docs because I don't know what to write, so why would I be typing for? I don't know what to write, so what would I be typing for? But for the times where I have opened my MacBook and I have just typed in DOCS into the search bar, and Docs comes up and I open a new thing, and once I see my cursor on the screen and I type that first sentence, all of a sudden the second sentence pops in my head. Then all of a sudden the third and the fourth and the fifth and the sixth. And then all of a sudden I have a long story, a long song that rhymes. And I'm really in love with it. I'm going to look back on for the rest of my life as a project that I completed on my own. As a project that I'm proud of. As a project that I never thought that I would be able to do. As a project that was retarded to so many other people. As a project that was silly and goofy and everything else. But to me, it was a goal that was achieved. It was a goal that was accomplished. It was a story that was written. It was a poem that was written. It was a song that was written. It was a song that was released. It was a video that got views. And so many people look at the top, and they don't think that they could ever be there. But you don't have to be at the top to love your life. And you will love your life if you let that creative side flow free. I know so many small YouTubers under 1,000 subscribers that their YouTube channel is the happiest thing in their life. The one thing that they look forward to the most in their entire life. Every single day they think about their YouTube channel, even though they're not at the top yet. They might not ever be at the top. But the thing that I'm trying to get to is they knew that starting a YouTube channel is such an overplayed and retarded and silly idea. It's such a laughed at idea to, oh, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. Every single smart person in society thinks that you are a retard and laughs at you because you said that you wanted to start a YouTube channel unironically. Every single smart person in society looks down on the idea of starting a YouTube channel because they think it's silly and stupid because it's been so overdone at this point. But every single person I know that has a YouTube channel thinks about their YouTube channel every single day because they love it. I said this to my friend earlier today. I'm going to read this text for you real quick. I said, when the post-nut clarity hit me just now, I realized I must dedicate my life to being anti-intellectual. I must dedicate my life to being anti-intellectual. The pursuit of knowledge is extraordinarily decaying to our society and to the individual man, and a false narrative to begin with. What do I mean by the pursuit of knowledge is extraordinarily decaying to our society? Because the more knowledge you have, the more afraid you are of this world, the more afraid you are to venture outside of your own home. If the caveman knew what was outside in this world, he would never leave his cave and would have never advanced as a human society. If the caveman only knew what was outside of that cave, he would have never left the cave, and we would still be in the cave today with nothing on this earth. Nothing. But it was because the caveman was ignorant, the caveman was retarded, the caveman was a much lower IQ than we were today, that he decided to venture out, that he decided to build a fire, that he decided to build things and invent things that we never seen before on the earth at that time period, and he decided that he was going to progress this society forward. But today we feel so knowledgeable. Today we know everything about the world, and because we know everything about the world, we are afraid of the world. And because men are afraid of the world, men will not go out into the world. And because men will not go out into the world, they will not shape the world and build the world into the future world they will know in 100, 200 years from now, 1,000 years from now live in. If the caveman was knowledgeable, they would have never left the cave. And if we were still knowledgeable today, we would still be in that cave because we're much safer in there. We would have never, ever went out into this world. I want to continue this text real quick. There's a little bit more to it. The pursuit of spirit, God, and heaven has guided our ancestors through thousands of years of hardship and ultimately and consistently leads to the good. If ignorance is bliss, why waste energy running after and chasing knowledge? You could simply smile, open your arms, and accept the bliss. Say it with me, folks. Ignorance is bliss. If ignorance is bliss, what is knowledge? If you've answered the question of what is knowledge, why are you chasing after knowledge? Why are you running after knowledge? Why are you sweating after knowledge? Why are you so stressed out to find knowledge? Why do you want to have the knowledge? Why are you afraid of people calling you stupid? Why are you afraid of people calling you silly? Why are you afraid of people calling you retarded in this world? Because every single man who's ever had a legacy, who's ever walked this earth, who's remembered today, was a retard every single day of his life until he joined the Hall of Fame, brother. That's what I just wanted to preach about today. And this line, the pursuit of spirit, God, and heaven has guided our ancestors through thousands of years of hardship and ultimately and consistently leads to the good. If you pursue God, sorry for the plastic bag sounds this entire video. I've been kicking a plastic bag, but if you pursue God, if you pursue heaven, if you open up your spirit to the angels of which surround you, the guiding angels, the protective angels, the angels that are dedicated to you and you alone because God loves you. If you open yourself up to the God of Abraham, if you open yourself up to heaven, and just the idea that you are an extended person and you are going to go to heaven one day, you will rejoice in paradise for the rest of eternity. If you let God, if you let Jesus, if you let any Abrahamic angel, prophet, etc. lead you, you will be led to the good, you will be led to the successful, you will be led to the joyful, you will be led to everything, single thing that is good on this earth come through the God of Abraham. And if you follow the God of Abraham, you will notice yourself becoming a more objectively good person in every single way through. So how does this all go back to Markiplier's OnlyFans? Was I only using that for clickbait? Well, maybe you could say that. You could argue that. But how does this go back to Markiplier's OnlyFans? Because every single person on YouTube, he has 40 million subscribers, so every single person on YouTube who knew about this thought that him starting an OnlyFans was a retarded idea, a silly idea. Why would you start an OnlyFans, man? You're a gaming YouTuber. You're just supposed to play video games. Why are you starting an OnlyFans? That's so funny, man. That's so funny. You know who it wasn't funny to? The children whose parents don't have to worry about the bills anymore. The medical bills. The parents whose children are going to survive cancer because of it. The World Food Organization. So the children in the Middle East who don't have to go hungry this winter. The children in Africa who don't have to go hungry this winter. The children in rural South America who aren't going to go hungry this winter. Because of his OnlyFans. Because hundreds of thousands of dollars went to beating cancer in Cincinnati and went to feeding the hungry and all over this world, man. Hundreds of thousands of dollars went to that. That's who it wasn't retarded to. And it wasn't retarded to Markiplier, who's going to look back when he's 80 years old and he is going to say to himself and to his grandchildren, I donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to the poor, the starving and the poor, and to the children who are ill in this world. I donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to those families so they wouldn't have to struggle as much. Even though they're already going through so much, I made it easier for thousands of families in this world. I, and my creativity and my love of God, made it easier for thousands of families in this world. That's who it isn't retarded to. him looking in the future. His grandchild that will say, my grandfather fed hundreds, or not hundreds of thousands, but he donated hundreds of thousands of dollars and fed thousands of families in different countries. That was my grandfather. My grandfather was a gaming YouTuber. Not a gaming YouTuber. My grandfather had 40 million fans across this world. He was a saint. My grandfather was looked up to by 40 million people on this earth. But it was a retarded idea for him to get started. It was stupid as fuck. Why would he become a gaming YouTuber? Oh, you're going to play video games on the internet? Okay, buddy. Okay, you're going to play... Oh, this guy's going to play video games on the internet. 40 million people look up to him, and he's fed the hungry, and he's helped children beat cancer. But he was retarded in the beginning. He was just a fucking retard idiot moron who wanted to play video games on the internet, and that was all there was to it. And that's all there is going to be to your story. And that's all what people are going to say about you until you join the Hall of Fame. Until it pays off. Until the creativity pays off. Until God leads you to glory. And every single person who puts their faith in the God of Abraham, God will lead them to glory. Mark my words. Because the glory might not be in this life, but when you see the paradise and you see heaven and you see God and you see Mary and you see Jesus and you see all those angels and you see all of your ancestors and you see your family members that you already knew beforehand, when you see all of them in paradise, you'll know that putting your trust in the God of Abraham was not retarded. It was not a mistake. It was not anything bad, but it was all good. Every single thing that's good on this earth comes through the God of Abraham. And when you put your trust in him, and when you put your trust to let him let you be creative, when he brings out the creative side of your mind and of your heart, and you put that into the world, you will see major success in this life, because the success is the fact that you are happy, you are not depressed, you are joyful, you are fulfilled, your spirit feels fulfilled at this point. You have love in your heart, not hatred. You are not taken over by any evil. You are powerful, you are loved, you are nice, you are joyful. You skip in the flowers. You play in flower beds. You are at peace. You have reached the state of nirvana completely. Your spirit has excelled over the non-believers, the atheists, the Satanists, the pagans, all of those people. Truly, your spirit has excelled. You can see it within their eyes. You can see it the first time they speak a sentence to you. The people who have not found the God of Abraham, you will see instantly. But that's besides the point. I don't want to get too preachy about the gospel in today's video, but I'm just saying that's the truth. But you will be retarded until you've reached that point. Every single person in society has been trained that is retarded, and they will try to train you that is retarded if you are creative. Every single person. So you will be retarded until you've reached the Hall of Fame. And the Hall of Fame will come for every single person who puts their faith in God, because they will reach that Hall of Fame status when they're sitting in paradise at the end of this life and into the next one. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.